As health concerns continue in the village of Mead, people met with health officials to share their fears about a recent spill of toxic chemicals. TV's Whitney brings us those details from last night's meeting.
For years, residents here in the village of Mead have had suspicions that some of their health issues, things like skin and eye irritation, persistent coughs, and difficulty breathing, have come from exposure to toxic chemicals produced at an ethanol plant outside of town. They've had a chance to talk amongst themselves about the issues, but haven't had much exposure to health officials. Those officials coming right here to the village of Mead to talk about what potential effects that those toxic chemicals could have on them and how they plan to study them.
While most of us first became aware of the issues in Mead recently, residents have had to deal with them for years. Several have reported suffering health problems in the past and now are seeking answers.
I've come down with a really bad GI problem and I'm seeing a specialist, and that's just developed within the past 8 months. What should I be asking him? Because it is something that I could have ate. It could have been something in the air. It could have been something I drank.
At Monday's town hall, officials from UNMC, UNL, as well as several other organizations were on hand to share details about the upcoming community health surveys and water and air quality sampling that will be happening to narrow down the long-term health impacts of the spill. But while plenty of experts were on hand, residents were quick to point out the lack of elected representatives at the meeting.
With all the mass in this room, I don't know. Is there a county supervisor in this room?
There was.
There was.
He had to leave. There was one here.
Because if it's this important to Saunders County and to Nebraska, where are our representatives during a meeting like this?
Many were disappointed by the lack of response they had previously seen from officials, but Pastor John Schnell reminded the crowd that even if they're discouraged, they can't quit fighting.
So we really have something to do, and if we don't, thank you for saying, if we don't do it and persist, it's not going to get done.
So now that the pieces are in place, the next step is to start that gathering of information. Health officials encouraging folks here in the village of Mead and surrounding areas to participate in these community health surveys and let them know what problems they're experiencing while they begin to start testing air and water quality samples to determine the long-lasting effects from the spill of toxic byproducts from the Alton ethanol plant. Reporting here from Mead, I'm Whitney.